If I could just remember you right now. Got to get down. Find a rhythm to pick me up and catch the beat of this town. Walk upon it together. Got to get down. Trace the bullet and sift the dust and catch the beat of this town. What to find to feel better. The street lights and the ravers and my trails of misbehavior, lost in liquid nights and whirling disco lights. The burden of tomorrow, all the shame, regret and sorrow, lost in liquid nights and whirling disco lights. I'm whirling through the half-light, shivers down my spine. Don't know what I'm becoming, but I know I'm making mine. I can't recall a thing, so why do I feel so sad? I can't recall a thing, so why do I feel so sad?
Hello, hello, and welcome back to Disco Elysium Final Cut. Starting a bit earlier today than my usual time slot. It's relatively quiet around here in the afternoon, so I figure it's a good time to try and get some gaming in. Welcome and join. Welcome. Welcome and thank you for joining me. There we go. Also figured out how to do the Twitch integration on this thing, so let's see how that goes. Okay, I think we just left off by stuffing a dead man into a giant bear. Oh, excuse
The
me.
bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden in...
Okay, yes. Ooh, that's new.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
Oh, I think I know what that does. That gives the audience the ability to affect stat modifiers, so if there's a difficult check, we can try and pass that. Or if not, you can make it worse, and then we just see how that goes. But you wouldn't do that to me now, would you?
An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded like a bellows. It covers half the room, blocking the way into a colossal industrial chimney. This is directly above the central furnace in the cellar. The voices probably came from here. What an odd thing to do. Nothing happens.
This is the police. Open the door.
Still nothing. No one's home. Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy. Your fist hurts now.
Ow.
There must be another way to wake up whoever is in there. Maybe we should ask the lady in the bookstore what's going on here.
Ooh, postcard.
You broke down the back door, the wards, the door. It's all gone now. Dark psychic energy leeching onto my shop.
Oh, but don't worry, ma'am, that's just me. Sometimes it's necessary to resort to extreme measures.
I suppose it's all over now. I guess there's no escape.
What are you talking about?
Just a door? This place is cursed, detective. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Just look at the sheer amount of companies that have failed in this house.
You mean in this slum of a city, in this part of town so close to a fishing district that doesn't even work anymore? Amazing.
I hope you're happy now. Happy that you've ruined everything. Now that you've broken the door, the curse is coming to get me as well.
I thought the curse wasn't
Of
real.
course you didn't. You're nothing but a policeman.
Dejected.
All right. You know what? I'm willing to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. We are set on the path. There's little else to do. But before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant entity?
Of course, the entity. I sensed her presence.
You did? Then it has to be true. I've suspected that this woman-shaped energy must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you see that she lives inside the chimney?
I mean, the chimney that's part of the central furnace. I heard voices.
Yes, I've heard that. It's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains upstairs. God knows what she's doing there. Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. And do return to me after you've talked to it. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse.
If you're really interested in cracking this mystery, then we should go back to the furnace. Maybe you could yell into it or something. Make some noise. You'll think of something. You always do.
Despite his cool, the lieutenant's interested in solving this mystery too.
Your daughter's the one standing outside in the cold, right?
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl?
Of course.
Wonderful. Did you talk to her?
Yes.
Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her?
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
She's very polite
My
and helpful.
precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette.
You know, she's really anxious.
God. Ugh. I've told her not to do that. It's such a disgusting habit. She'll get over it. Anxiety is a part of life.
A part of hers too, clearly.
I don't think she can do
She
anything about
can,
it.
if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
What you're doing is wrong. Even I know that, and I usually don't know anything.
She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without change.
1, 2, now we're not going to do that.
This is a person coming to terms with a new reality, one where they are wrong. It's not easy.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress.
She stops, but her mouth keeps moving.
It sounds like both the husband and the mother treat her the way she treats Annette.
You're like Annette to your husband and your mother.
Oh, well, my mother was horrible, of course. Absolutely perverse energies around that person. But my husband,
She shakes her head.
My husband is completely different, of course.
Is this husband Annette's father?
yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne.
Grand Coron? What's that?
It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighbourhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing projects. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. Better times ahead for sure.
And your husband's also involved in the bookstore?
He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner.
Is she an only child?
Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy.
Of course, yes, this economy.
Exactly.
She told me she doesn't go to school anymore.
She's been too busy helping me here. So she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course.
She nods.
I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off.
I had something else in
The woman
mind.
looks aloof, her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette.
I've had a few more questions about the curse.
Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits.
How does this curse manifest itself?
The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation.
A shiver runs through the woman as she looks around the dimly lit store.
It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy.
She peers at the curtains again.
Didn't that curtain just move?
And it mentioned the previous tenants have experienced some financial
It's
troubles.
not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the cacodemons feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here.
Sounds familiar.
Strange, I feel unwanted too. What does it mean?
Truly so? Perhaps the dark energies are leeching off you. You shouldn't stay in the store too long. It may be dangerous.
Why didn't you tell me right away if it's the curse?
It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negativism, it's dangerous. Talking about the void wraiths angers them.
Such wraiths may prove a formidable enemy. Suit up.
Have you ever sought help from anyone?
Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists and even a pair of Simonese mediators. They provided me with the wards.
She nods at the strange cage-like trinket on the
The
curtains.
wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building. Even though now I fear, it's not enough.
Is your pendant part of the wards as well?
Oh, this? No, it's a special Himian amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans, with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example. It's guaranteed to boost sales 15%.
What about the wards on the back door? These Simonese as well?
Yes, the Simonese are very crafty and their wards are extremely powerful. Lesser wards simply won't do here.
Never mind, I had another
The
question.
woman looks aloof, her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette.
What if I want to buy a
Then
book?
why are you talking to me? Everything is on the shelves to browse. Don't you feel compelled to buy anything? See those shelves there? Go. Be drawn.
What types of books you got?
Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. The shelves compel you, don't they?
She's attempting to mentally direct you towards the shelves. She only wants you to buy the goods. She doesn't care about the books.
Do you even know what books you have?
Truth be told, not really. My sister brings in most of the goods. I'm sure it's all very literary stuff with well-written prose. But you don't learn about the important things in life from fabricated stories.
Shouldn't you know that?
I provide a valuable service. As long as people buy books, I'm fine.
Where do you learn about important things,
The
though?
truth is available if you just know where to look, and you have to open and free your mind to understand.
Free your mind, free your mind. Alright.
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
That's all for now, book peddler.
Aces high. For the rest of the world, the Aces High is just a cool Revachol thing, politically neutral. In Revachol, it still holds revolutionary connotations. Also, have you looked at Lieutenant Kitsuragi's clothes? He wears a bomber jacket, just like the ones worn by aerostatic brigades, and those cargo pants could store tools for hotfixing your aerostatic. Maybe you should ask him about this.
+1 empathy towards Kim, and +1 is spirit de corps, the roots of the RCM.
Yes?
Let's not wave a flashlight around people's faces. What the hell am I wearing? Alright, let's change that.
Yes?
Let's talk about you.
Me?
Yes, you.
I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation.
We'll work better together if we have more rapport.
That's a fair point. Alright, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know?
You're wearing a revolutionary air jacket, aren't you?
What? This? It's just seasonal clothing.
Look like airman pants, good for storing tools.
Where is this going?
You see, Kim, I have this place in my head where I develop new ideas and
Interesting.
connections.
I think it's called the brain.
Yes, a brain.
Okay. And something happened in that brain?
Yes, my brain suspects that you have some kind of thing with the Revolutionary Air Brigades.
I do not have a thing with Revolutionary Air Brigades in particular.
Just air brigades,
Okay,
then?
I wanted to become an aerostatic pilot. Then I turned 10 and realized we no longer have an air force.
Are you sure the revolutionaries got nothing to do with this?
Absolutely nothing.
Thank you, my mind is satisfied. You ever talk with yourself?
What do you mean?
You know, when you're thinking, do you ever have a conversation with, like, your brain?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So you're saying your brain never just chimes in with advice or warnings for anything?
I can't say that it does, no. When I need to think, I just use my notebook.
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thumbs through a few pages. That's where his conversations with himself take place. You're super lucid, yet psychedelic. You don't need office supplies to connect to your nervous system. You're special.
You're wearing glasses.
That's correct.
That makes him a binoclard. Completely uncopped material, if you say so yourself.
I'm not gonna call them that. Glasses are cool.
Are they? They're mostly just cumbersome.
You could use a good, normal pair yourself.
You be nice. Kim's a cool guy. Tell me a secret about yourself.
No.
Your brain
Yes.
sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something is paralyzing them. You're pretty sure it has something to do with the lieutenant's eyebrow. The eyebrow is exercising psionic control over you.
What's happening to me?
Something the matter, detective?
This guy's got authority off the charts. With just the flick of his eyebrow, he's able to make you his thrall.
So what can I do about it?
Nothing. You better hope he doesn't abuse his authority. There's a lot of it.
Silently scream for
If
help.
the lieutenant were an evil man Who knows what sort of havoc he could wreak? Fortunately, he is a committed officer of the RCM. He'll only use his powers for the good of the investigation. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
That's all for now.
Let's change the subject.
Old sports magazines tucked away in a dark corner.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy with my homework. I have so much homework now.
You just can't win. Out of the rain and into the gutter.
What are you doing now?
Math. It's really difficult. Like, really. They say you need it to get rich. Better than standing outside in the cold, I guess. Oh, I found something while you were away.
What is
I
it?
thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does.
She gives you a hat almost exactly like the one Dick Mullen wears on the covers. Where did you get it?
Just what Dick Mullen would ask. I got it from behind the curtains. I'm not really supposed to go there.
It's a fedora?
Maybe. It's the hat Dick Mullen wears all the time. You'll look way more serious with that. Right, I have to get back to my homework now, before Mum notices. Man, this is hard.
She looks back at the infernal scribblings under her nose. What are you missing here? Why does it feel familiar?
You have absolutely no idea. Familiar? How? You must have forgotten something you heard again.
Okay, seeing it.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
Storekeep, what are your wares?
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure, or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinda, a very educational game for those interested in geography.
Well, I'm not.
Raubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children.
Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family?
Wow, I have children? A family?
It certainly feels like whatever you are will die with you.
I don't feel as if I have any kids.
Friends are technically like family.
She fiddles with dependent thinking.
For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real.
Wow.
Wonderful board Raubritter.
Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family?
Do I have friends?
Are you actually friends? Or just colleagues thrown together by circumstance?
Friends are for playing with friends, I'd recommend
No,
Suzerainty.
that's enough of that. National recipes of Arda, they're all about lake trout. Delicious, delicious lake trout. Excuse me. Gift books and malted candy.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over.
What's all this crime fiction?
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective.
Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf?
Sure.
You see, Dick Mullen on the job. Get Me Mullen. The Stalwart Adventures of Richard P. Mullen. Dick Mullen and the Murder in the Orchard. The Sordid Affair of Dick Mullen. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the Murder House. The Final Case of Dick Mullen. An Obvious Lie. Dick Mullen in the Clock Tower. The Ordeals of Dick Mullen. Dauntless Dick. Dick Mullen's Funeral Pyre. The Murder of Dick Mullen.
Dick Mullen dies?
Turns out he faked it to solve a case.
Are there any more?
Yes, there's also The Dame Who Did It. Farewell, My Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope in the Mullen series. The Morbid Tales of Dick Mullen. A dark tide turns. Tragedy calls for Dick Mullen. Another one with fake death. And, of course, Dick Mullen, the murderer. In order to catch a murderer, Dick Mullen must become the murderer. Come on. This is not the way real police solve crimes. The real police are some 20 kilometers away, sitting in an armored motor carriage.
Come on, Chester. Tell the story again.
A bald man turns toward a lean man and pats him on the back.
Again? Man, I tell that one at least once a month. It's not that interesting.
Chester replies.
The fuck it is. And these guys haven't heard it. You see, Chester here.
Chester faked his own death once.
Gosh, why?
When the civilian looks on amazed, the bald man bellows a reply.
A very fucking dangerous case, ain't that right, Chester? They almost got you that time.
Yeah, sure came close. Alright, so I was tailing this guy called Francis the Shoe.
The inside of the motor carriage is thick with cigarette smoke. Outside, it starts to
After
rain.
all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen?
Tell me.
Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title reads, Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity.
What do we have here?
A
Mistaken
worn
identity.
paperback from Dick Mullen's classic hard-boiled phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend and has just a few days to prove his innocence.
Why does this speak to me?
Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals?
That's probably right. I'm a complicated guy, full of contradictions.
Then this is the book for you.
Maybe later. But for now, I have a hat. Picture book brochure, very colorful. It's a tome of fastest magic? Rather candid. Okay.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another, far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme, Ozon, Laurentide, Fas à la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou, in a bookstore. It's you. Radiating outwards from you, the suzerain Revachol. With a radius of 80 kilometers, still, the crown jewel of this Isola would be barely visible.
Can you see the cities on the islands?
You can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star, on Ozon, Fondelier, and Vilmandu, on archipelagos, Croyan Moran, Villiers, on Seminine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas. Lost little pearls of light, tiny fires in the dark.
Look at the edges.
The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seol is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called. Connections to other worlds. Words past the Incelindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust.
Failure.
The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Revachol East.
And west?
Hudon, it's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forberg. It's almost as bad, and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst.
And Martinez?
It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is, north of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the Greater Revachol Industrial Harbor. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest. No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. Rain falls on its slick black streets. And then there's the burnt-out quarter in the heart of Jamrock. Is it cold in this bookstore? Or is it just you? No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something. Streets and sodium lights, the sky, the world. You're still alive.
Look at the map of Martinez.
It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says 48. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor, even the whirling in rags there.
Can I buy these?
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though.
Why is one of Martinez
That
so
old thing.
cheap?
It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps.
What happened to them?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business.
Yeah, I'll take the
Always
map.
good to be informed of your surroundings.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Another boring book just discarded here. Excuse me. Loading. Just a moment, let me see something here. Sorry, just messing with the options here real quick. Okay then. Let's see. Book about the future. The government reads your mind using radio technology. A book about Bordero culture promotes freedom and roaming upstream. You don't really understand it, and you don't get it. This book is about pate. It's not a party without pate. This book is a rose, a pistol, and a half-naked dame on the cover. This book appears to be erotica, but without actual erotica. On the cover stands a very muscular man surrounded by flames. There are bottles inside. You could pick them up if you had a bag.
This Post Lavatorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. A closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the front.
Good mail delivery box.
The box seems happy. Eat shit, pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also.
I fear your mail
The
collection
mail
box.
collection box seems cathartic. Thankful even. So do you. You shudder. Then you swallow. And then suddenly, you see it. Over all the other graffitos, someone has, using the tip of a very sharp knife, cut the words, Revachol forever.
This coin operated here has been banged up, inoperable. Ad reads broken window, Tibbs has windows. Roundabout North. Cape Side Apartments, Martinez Pier. I hear the distant squall of seabirds. Listen, boy, I don't start trouble, I fix it. I don't know what's going on there.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Vandalism.
Probably some kids.
Lieutenant inspects the rig slot. Poor little
The
viewer.
metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic. A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onuk written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards.
Shift your focus to the background.
Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows. Around the large wooden building you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach, and a small tent set up on the ice.
Interesting.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately touristy locations. Year 48 resides on the upper right corner.
Trace a path through the grid.
Your finger moves through the various streets, across Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue Saint-Sipar, over Saint-Brun and Martinez North. Finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication itself.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the Map tab.
It's the ledger you found in the trash, a cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeable drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner. Just relax. The two sides of the board are slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off the slides. All you need to do is bend the plastic on your knee, slowly. The slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open.
But what's inside?
2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. 2 octopuses
Let's
are
see.
smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there too.
Pick up the card.
Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue.
Smell it.
It smells of chewing gum, apricot flavored.
That's an odd flavor.
A touch of cinnamon, the end of summer. You think the label says tutti frutti.
Open
Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round letters in a woman's hand. A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile, you think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy.
I'm waiting for you there, in that special place, in Silent Hill.
Wait, wrong letter, sorry.
Throw it away, please.
But it will make me happy.
A merciful wind blows in from the bay of Revachol, dusting the ground at your feet and raising newspapers far away. You feel the card slipping into it.
Let's go.
What was that?
Frisson covers your entire body, a feeling of cold, a persistent chill. Your hands shake, holding onto it. Every morning when I step out, you're asleep behind me, it says. I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest, down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it.
Keep reading.
Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on. To what? There's nothing.
Detective, Is everything alright?
Thud.
There is nothing.
Not you again.
Again.
Just lie there, passed
Well,
out.
almost nothing. There is the ground below you. That's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in the basal ganglia.
Who's that?
That's me. Blue eyes, that's me.
And who was that?
Who was what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness, he's grasping for it. Still trying to hold on to the great sorrows slipping in the water. Slimy.
I was cool. I'm cool.
The cool when you're dead, brother.
Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow. Because it's always there.
Where is Voyager Road?
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause.
What was that X something?
Loaded corpse of the past resurfacing.
Yes, that.
Don't prod at it. It will start moving again.
Just lie there motionless.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
I'm not coming back.
Oh, but you are. They're pouring something on you. Something in you.
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness.
Where am
In the
I?
upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket, the air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin.
Drink. Water.
Drink.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes. The darkness parts.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration.
Drink.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
What happened?
I should ask you the same.
You were reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. I carried you to my kinema to take you to a hospital. Then you came to.
How long was I out?
10 minutes, maybe.
I came in contact with the burnout ruins of the past, Lieutenant.
That does sometimes happen. You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your held slot for skill bonuses. Find it under the Tools tab in your inventory.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's bare. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of paper without resistance or sound. The two panels move. You stare at the card, willing your hand to move. It refuses. It's slight. Your hand shakes. You're flushed with adrenaline. Yes, you can piece them together
let's
using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB41. Then, date of initialization, and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the Next World Mural.
HDB41 with those officer precincts?
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
And HDB.
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Horace Debbie Behringer?
That is improbable.
How long does it take to read a
It
case?
takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
Next World
This
Mural.
one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne.
Oh my.
The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class. People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the belles-lettres have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the Next World Mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown.
Do I ever find out who came up with
The
it?
case files do not show you finding the author of the design.
Read on.
The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villa Lobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options.
Keep the mural, it's
A
right.
staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us.
All that remains is to wreak havoc on the middle class, I
In any
guess.
case, it appears to have been a rare case of civil activity in the quarter, and agreement as well. What do you want to tackle next?
I'll revisit
Not
this
much
later.
has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
I can't believe it's snowing again. It felt like springtime just a few days ago.
The body is gone.
Like, gone?
If it's sent to processing in the
I'm
morning.
glad to hear that. Thank you,
And that's-
officer. Looks like I'll get mint in the ground by April.
That's all you or anyone else need to know.
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler
Man mutters to himself, accenting the beats as he goes.
from another planet. Hey there.
And the law.
You sure are, my man.
He nods emphatically. What's going on
It's
here?
the jam, my man.
Motions toward the sprawl of lorries with a sweeping gesture. What's the jam?
Traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days.
Limbo,
Upon
huh?
days.
So that's where I am.
Yeah, exactly.
How long you been here?
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes and mazout.
Extravagantly phrased, but I can roll with it.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
Behind the laugh, however, a touch of sorrow.
So tell me, what do you need?
Tell me more about this strike.
It's like whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out.
What's the union demanding?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up. Precise demands and so on.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
What do you think the company wants?
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
Anything else I should know?
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do.
All of who?
Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really.
Not you?
Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
He glances down the road towards the horizon, a glint of something in his eyes.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, the better. When one's ended, you can get onto the next one.
Spare some change or working stiff?
Oh. No, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished work.
They who?
The bosses, man.
Makes sense. First work.
Makes
then
sense. It sucks is what it does.
pay. Also true. What are you hauling?
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Wicked. I've always wanted a friend in the underworld.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grad and the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Ilmaran market lately.
So, nothing illegal?
Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
That's your machine
This
behind you?
rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
Yeah, they're pretty neat.
Neat. For carrying large quantities of cargo a long distance. These found tracksuits need to find their way to the kids way out in Wamrau and Loran Bird somehow.
There it is again. A little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he's spent too long in this lorry.
Can I get one of those found tracksuits?
We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
Right, another
The
question.
man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Got any smokes?
Nope. Don't smoke.
You know, it's towards the big lorry
Some
behind
of the
you.
other drivers do, though. There's still a few around, waiting for the jam to disperse. Or waiting for the sweet release of death.
Yup, nothing wrong with that statement. Your senses have nothing to add. You'll have to ask around elsewhere.
Yes, I'll ask around
You
then.
could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit. With 3 T's. Rebishaw's weird.
What do you see in his eyes?
In his eyes, an half-familiar longing. Flecks of brown and gold.
Familiar how?
It's hard to say. His gaze wanders southwest, down the street that goes beyond the horizon. The road continues for miles, flowing together with other roads, turning into causeways or bridges. ending suddenly in dead ends, or ramping up or down highways. It forms a crisscross pattern across the land.
Where does it lead?
Above the Jamrock Quarter, in the form of a raised motorway, and then the never-ending sprawl of Forburg, high above buildings, new and old, the air filled with the rumble of motor engines.
Further.
To the old south, to the farthest outskirts of Revachol, through the checkered fields of farmland, upstream to the river Esperance, past Montmartin, the border approaches.
What's beyond the border?
You cannot see. It's out of the city. Up ahead, the mist blocks all sight. A gale blows across your cheeks. It is cold. Before you stands a tall lorry driver with sad eyes.
What's in the southwest?
Excuse me?
I'm a cop. I can fix anything.
There are things even a cop can't fix, my man. There's no helping in absence, you know? I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, second kid on the way, waiting all the way in Diora. And here I am stuck in this shit, so far from home.
Diora?
Diora of the Seven Seas. It's on the other end of Le Caillou, pretty much, on another island called Laurentide, off mainland. We've got a little place there. Can almost hear my kid laugh when it snows.
What's it like to miss someone?
What's it like? Good. And bad. An ache that brings you joy. I think of them a lot. I dream up these silly scenarios in great detail of living with them. It comforts me. What about you, cop man? You missing someone?
Is that what it is? This feeling? No, it's scarier than that. You're pursued by a hunter, smelling of apricots and sorrow, and the past.
Oh, I feel hunted.
Hunted? By what?
A shadowy figure known only to me as the ex.
An ex-wife?
The pain burns in your chest, radiating. The crown of arteries on fire.
Ex-wife? No, it's a sinister presence that hunts me across all planes of existence.
Sinister presence? Wow. That sounds really bad. I hope that doesn't happen to my marriage.
Don't worry, I'm sorry nothing bad is ever going to happen to your marriage.
Yeah. In marriage, you never know if you're doing the right thing. I hope we're doing our best to keep ours together, but anything can happen. Look, man, thanks for this. It's nice to talk to someone. I know it wasn't easy to ask, so I hope you find your way through your own troubles.
I'm good for
Don't
now.
be a
Good
stranger.
talk. He salutes with 2 fingers. Goods from the lorry haphazardly litter the surroundings. Jump Jam's a popular music mag. Most able-bodied men in this issue host a top 10 list. I know they're much hunkier than you. You sure you'll threaten my handsome men? Don't be silly. Freight, sick. There are roses, dozens of them, tulips too.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now. You're 100% sure you got special Hobocop money for that tear. At least 100% extra tear money. If the numbers on the machine told you otherwise, it's a lie.
A melancholy pop song plays on the radio.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big Fritta slogan on the back.
What's that?
What is what? It's a raincoat. If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
She taps on the glass counter. The raincoats patiently await purchase.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
Just ask me if you need anything from Saint Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma.
What do they do?
I don't know. Let's see. Nosafed is a nasal spray. Duramine is a really good painkiller. Magnesium is a dietary supplement. Hypnogamma is... I don't really know what Hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit. It's recommended to use after lots of partying, studying, or exercising.
Can you be a little more specific?
No, sorry. I'm not like a doctor or anything.
Who is Saint Baptiste?
Saint Baptiste. You know, the pharmaceuticals company. Saint Baptiste Pharmaceuticals. The one that sells meds out of Saint Baptiste. That one. There.
Ah, yes. That one.
A colorful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles line the shop wall, inviting you closer. There, in that dark green glass, all in vain, the great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol, beer, alcohol, love, alcohol.
This is not a good place for a recovering addict.
Guess not, no.
Good thing you're an unrecovering alcoholic then.
I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. But I guess you already know that.
Don't ask, don't look, don't do anything here. Just go away. Get back to work.
Yeah, good idea.
Bastards! We have a right to work!
The man yells towards the harbor gates. His voice is the loudest of the lot, and oddly screechy for a man of his size. And it all.
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
Broad-shouldered alpha male turns to you. He's a full head taller than everybody else
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
Why should I?
We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes.
I'm thinking no.
Good. We're fighting for a cause here.
Right to work! Right to work!
Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
What kind of cause are we talking about?
Rights of people. Rights of workers. To have gainful employment. To make a salary. And feed their families.
I don't think I've chosen these sides yet.
Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side with the higher-ups, but you're essentially still workers. I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the...
Right to work! Right to work!
I have some questions for you, and I want them answered immediately.
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here.
Shame on you!
We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
He points his finger at the man sitting on the railing.
So do we, Scott.
A lower-rank man hollers in return. Actually, I need to speak to the union
Have
boss.
fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. Why you want to meet that fat asshole?
This is an official matter, not to be discussed
Right
without
to
silence.
It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
This isn't really my area of expertise.
We are not picking a side in this just yet, sir.
Pity.
Let us work!
Who are all these strike breakers?
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests.
Man runs a hand through a steadily growing military
We came
haircut.
here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were
given a job to do!
What exactly is your goal
We were
here?
promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
And you are unable to breach the
Main
entrance?
gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guard's blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
Head measurer?
Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The access panel is right behind him.
How bad could one guy be? You seem capable.
Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke. And my men are tired and hungry. They're workers, not fighters.
Have you considered storming in, like all of you?
Why don't you go arrest them instead? I'm sure they've done plenty of criminal shit. They have that look.
That's not how this works.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
What is a strike?
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people.
He shifts uncomfortably in his workers' overalls.
Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we
have the right to work!
When the man moves around, you perceive some serious abs underneath his tight-fitting shirt. This man is in shape. There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting.
What does that mean?
His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence.
You're wearing new clothes?
He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously not his. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what. You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
Okay, I gotta ask, where are you from?
What's it to you?
Curiosity, going to figure out
Big
this
mess
strike mess.
caused by union greed. But I only fight for the rights of people.
Already got that. I'm interested in your background.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, from Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill.
Sweet, I know bars. Been thrown out from been thrown out from several. Maybe that's why you seem familiar.
Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell?
I think I've been there.
was a long time ago.
Man is quickly losing interest in talking to you.
What's it to you?
Pardon the investigation?
Am I a suspect? Done no crimes. I only fight for the rights of people. We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell?
Despite saying yes, never heard
We're
of it.
done here. I have a strike to break.
Oh, he's probably stole a few here. Now they store booze. Foreign car kept in good condition. Now we're styling. An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods. Who is this? The silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, I am Felipe III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippine kings of Revachol, son of Felipe II, the opulent, father of Felipe IV the Insane.
Not a good track record of mental health in that family.
What did this king do?
Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy.
In what way?
Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola.
How did he manage to blow through the entire national treasury?
Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person.
The man certainly knew how to live.
I like to sleep on gold, hustler
But
style.
wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction.
The what
You
now?
see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. He was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Not just any nose candy, though. We're talking Royal Philippian Blow, allegedly twice as potent as the stuff you find nowadays, and purple. Philippian cocaine was purple.
This is a lot to process.
His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms.
And what is nose candy?
Cocaine.
So he was addicted to nose candy, a bloated druggie?
That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later. Right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the Insulindian Bay.
Where is he buried now?
Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum. A group of marble pleurons still surround the king's vandalized tomb. A deathly cold wind sweeps up candy wrappers and old newspapers.
What happened to the statue?
The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution, when Martinez was leveled.
Who restored the monument?
Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit.
So funny and nihilistic.
People in Martinaise tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than the young ironists. Philip III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death.
Bold-looking human ox covers the truck.
Welcome to Revachol.
Just a moment. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Why are you addressing my partner like that?
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
You tell him.
It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
So we are in limbo.
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Rivachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Fucking A, Kim, I got your back.
You two make a cute couple. You know that?
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness. You sense slight embarrassment for the outburst. Or is it pride? Impossible to tell.
Now that that's settled, we have a couple of questions for you, you jackass.
Whatever you say, officers.
I found this mug in the trash. Yours?
Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go. Haven't seen anything that funny in a while.
Is it yours?
God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
What was that argument all about?
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races.
Trying to sort your ass with my foot?
Not the most popular topic nowadays, with a coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep.
Gonna bury your head in the sand.
Change the topic. The way he says it makes it almost sound like a threat.
Oh, so you're just a racist. Makes sense.
I'm not just racist. Look, I've read books. Huh? The science of racial theory has all been proved, even if some people don't want to accept it.
I am going to pistol whip you as soon as I find my gun.
People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that.
Okay, what else have you thought of?
Lately we Occidentals have experienced an unfortunate downturn when members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superiority. They stop competing for resources.
And?
This concerns you, policeman, so you better be vigilant. The damn kips are showing up good lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other intruder species too. They're on the precipice of cultural victory. It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new sub-race, with unknown characteristics, leading to extra competition. That's why you've got to control the offspring.
Yeah, I'm not done with this. Why don't you go fuck yourself?
Don't push your luck, runt. Looking for something, Runt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
What are you hauling?
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation.
What kind of cargo are you
Apples.
supposed to pick up? Apples?
Yeah, apples. I take it you had other questions?
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest, you were bested.
Fuck off.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Then use the focus knob to zoom in if necessary. Your money disappears into the coin slot. A clunk, the ring of metal.
Ooh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Pull the handle and look inside.
The curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry, different blues and greens. In the middle of the shimmer stands a drab grey shape, like a ghost.
Turn the knob to focus your vision.
The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible. A half-sunken sea fort. Its concrete almost reconquered by nature. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree grows out of it. Its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind.
There's some kind of ruins there.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
The lieutenant takes off his glasses and cleans them. Again, their little
The
wind.
little brave birch tree seems to wave back in the wind.
A lonely cormorant surveys the sea, indifferent to your approach. Stop being indifferent!
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Why am I looking at this wall?
You have no clue. It's just a wall.
Okay.
So many walls all over Martinez. Weather-worn, cracked, their paint peeling.
Ooh. I'll take that. Garden hose will be useful if snow melts. Must be another way into the building. Delphi with the VV yard and the hanging. Smoke up there could be a witness. Talk to him. Chairs and tables eaten by rain and rot.
Hey, what's that noise down there?
You see a young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette. His eyes have been following you for a while.
Hello.
Not looking for any trouble, officer.
Says in a quiet voice, despite the cold, his shirt hangs unbuttoned in his frame. No trouble for me, I just want to know what's going on here.
I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
It's the god of cigarettes and youth. Ask him if he's got anything to spare. Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view of the whole thing.
Actually, the police really need to talk to you.
Is it really that important?
Yes.
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at the neighboring windows.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run.
Looks like you've got a good view of the whirling's backyard. Can you tell me anything about the hanging?
I can tell that you finally got him down. Thank you. It was quite a disturbing sight, even by Martinez standards.
What were you doing last Sunday?
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you?
Did you?
No, not you two. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
Lieutenant takes out his notebook and writes something
Last
down.
week? I don't know. Look.
He looks around the courtyard again. Snow blankets, the old patio chairs, and dead houseplants, and all the neighboring windows are black.
You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday?
I had a friend over.
What kind of friend?
It was my Sunday friend.
Sunday friend.
Sunday friend. How intriguing.
What's your friend's real name? Did he see something?
He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette under the dull and darkening sky. The neighboring windows stand silent. Someone hides behind a curtain. Those windows have eyes, and those eyes are watching, spying on you three.
You tell me your
My
name.
name? My name is Martin Martinez.
Ah, yes, heir to the Martinez fortune.
Martin Martinez? Good local name. Let's go with that.
Alright, we'll talk
No.
later.
We won't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
This isn't the place or time for questions. Who knows who might be watching from the distance, hidden behind the curtains?
Hey, listen. I'm just trying to make things okay again. Can we meet again somewhere else?
For a moment, the man on the balcony seems almost vulnerable. Something moves in the depths of his feline eyes. Compassion and a hint of understanding. There's snow gathering on his hair and on his shoulders. A speckle of white against the purple that hangs loose on his slender frame.
I am sorry, but I really don't have the information you're looking for.
His voice is soft and deliberate. With a flick of his wrist, he sends a cigarette butt sailing over the rail.
Hold on. What's that? For a split second, his hand lingers, as though gesturing towards a stone placed right next to the front door. It's a sign.
Good luck with the investigation.
He walks away.
He's gone.
We should run after him, see if
No
we
point
want.
in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself.
So he just give up?
He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to look into that muscular type who's asking about our case. He did leave us a sign. Did you see that? He wanted to draw our attention to that stone right over there.
And Tent nods towards a small rock and a soggy patch of grass.
If we find a way inside the building, we can ask around for his apartment.
Yeah. There we go.
A stone like any other, lying in a whirl of sleet and mud. Maybe there's something under it.
Maybe it's El Dorado.
There's a key beneath it, rusty from the dirt.
This must be for the front door. Pity doesn't have the apartment number on it. This building has many apartments and the man can be in any of them.
How are we going to find
We'll
the right
just have
one?
to go in and see.
Hmm. Ooh. This look says something, but I'm not sure what. Cleaning chemicals, smells of laundry detergent. Eviction notices and missing pets are plastered on top of each other. Old shoe rack, sneakers, old slippers. Loud rumbling, snore comes from within. The snoring is scary somehow. We should leave. Call Commodore Red. Shower curtains are covered in some sort of slime. Someone has shown a 5-pointed star on the wall.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, number 11. smooth lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would make short work of it. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise. This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, number 11. What are you doing? You're trying to cut the body of the lock with the chain cutters, and it's really not working.
I believe it's the shackle you mean to cut, Detective.
Lieutenant points to the crow loop with the glove finger.
He's just trying to help. Don't take it bad. Relax.
You think that's what I'm trying to do?
Perhaps you should give it another go.
Kim pointed out the shackle.
The shackle snaps like a twig, and the lock falls to the floor with a little thud. It should be possible to enter now.
After you, Detective.
Flamboyant poster of a white star, middle lithography.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Mazov.
Why does this tenant have a bust of Kraz Mazov?
The white star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting.
What is this Kraz Mazov?
He's known as the father of scientific communism, also known as Mazovianism. His theories about economic history greatly influenced, some would even say sparked, the anti-centennial revolution.
This is this universe's version of Karl Marx. Photos of revolutionaries posing with guns. Books of critical theory on monstrosities of capital and such. Revolutionaries love to pose with their guns. Ooh.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10. The walking stops abruptly, but no one comes to the door. You can feel tension on the other side. A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
This time the steps come closer. Who is this? Demands female voice, wary and tense. This is the police. Open up. Do I have to open the door? You hear the clacking of heels again as the other side walks right up to the door. Her tone is now getting a defensive edge. You have a warrant. I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
Door number 9 is locked. Postcard. Money. Great. Mailbox is overflowing. Firing squad for the rich. Let's see.
Give me a moment.
An elderly woman is leaning on her broom, her knuckles white as bone. She seems to be having difficulty breathing.
The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
Are you alright? Should I call a doctor?
I'm fine. Fine. Don't you worry about me.
Red spots appearing on her cheeks.
You're still worried. It's very worrying.
Now, what do you want from me, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
Who are you?
I'm no one. Just an old woman who cleans these hallways.
Do you live here?
If you can call it living. I have a little room upstairs right next to the coal room. It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company. And that's all I need from this world.
And all she gets, too. The coastal wind beats down hard on the coal room door outside. Splashes of waves make the balcony slippery.
I'm looking for Martin Martinez.
Oh, you'll find plenty of Martins here. Don't you worry.
What do you mean? I wasn't joking.
Pea-brain. Someone played a trick on you. Martinez is a name for anyone who comes from Martinez, like Tim Jambrock or Raoul Ravachol.
Oops. You really didn't get the joke there.
Oopsie.
I thought it was obvious. Anyway, officer, we don't have the witness's name.
How about a young male's mid-20s, dark hair, skinny build, a smoker on the balcony, know where he lives?
Yes. I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
She looks at the other end of the hallway.
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower.
What's he in trouble for?
No troubles, I just want to talk to him. Do you know where he lives?
Talk?
Greenlay starts laughing, but it turns into a violent coughing spasm. She squeezes a broom, trying to catch her breath.
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there. He's usually home in the evening.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
I have a few questions about these apartments.
Ask away, policeman.
There's another residents on vacation. Their mailbox is overflowing.
People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone.
Who lives in apartment number 10?
No one lives there. It's been empty for months.
When I talk to someone through the door.
Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there.
She pauses, eyeing the hallway.
Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you?
Okay.
Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and empty beer cans.
What is behind the padlocked
Oh,
door?
that one is a scientist. A future scholar.
Suddenly, the old lady's face is beaming.
I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study.
Astrology?
Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall.
You mean the star and antlers? I think that's a symbol of communism.
A symbol of what now?
You know, the one supporting the working class against capital. It's an ideology, in a way.
Huh. I thought Revachol was the capital.
That's all.
Oh,
Yeah, thanks. Foreclosed by Martinez Realty Associates.
A shift in temperature. The air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor.
Rub your sides for warmth.
A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling down to -20 degrees Celsius.
Her face
is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression.
A plan?
Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment. Ideas for arranging the furniture have been jotted down.
Look around for yourself.
It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the middle of the room.
Waves crashing in the darkness. Someone has torn down the wall. Grocery table. Well, grocery list on the table. And checks. Nose candy and money.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
This apartment is supposed to be empty. Did you break in here? Excuse me, of course not.
Scare them. Suspected of some big crime. There's no sweet talking your way in there. Be official.
Are you cooking morphine in there? Oh, come on. There's a pause before you hear the door being unlocked.
That was smart.
I knew it.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see?
Her voice is really cheerful, despite her obviously hating you.
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too?
It feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol Zone of Control written under a nondescript municipal logo. There's a picture of her with shorter hair inside, along with all her personal details.
Nice
Thank
haircut.
you. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour.
What are you doing here?
I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place.
Reprehensible. Who lived here?
It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent.
She stops,
But
hesitating.
that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry.
Who lived in that foreclosed apartment down the
Oh,
hallway?
that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall.
So preppy. She's probably on some low-grade performance enhancers, like Preptide or Pericanine.
A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that.
The sum must have been puny. Oh, it irks her. The incompetence.
My money also disappeared, I think.
Well, it does not disappear from my hands. No, I don't let it.
It couldn't have been that much money. These apartments look pretty cheap.
These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million-real view of the bay, good ventilation, neighbors, life, spark, and they are affordable.
I can hear that clenched jaw.
I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. In a few years, it's going to blossom with artists and creatives and those radio computer wizards.
Magic. So what happened to the wall?
Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both. Of
thanks.
course.
List of packing medicine peeks out of the box. You should take it. It's like a fine mattress. Gimme. I'm taking these shoes too.
The luxury of fine things. Just look at those black monk straps. After spending an entire day hustling, who's to say that you didn't deserve a pair of ridiculously expensive shoes on your tired feet?
You're right. Beautiful things do make people happy.
Beautiful things give you a rush. It's power. Crafting your style, draping your flesh in silk and leather, deciding how to present yourself to the world. Remember, when they come to take it away from you, you worked for those shoes. Whether you like it or not, wearing these shoes has made you more liberal. Ultra liberal.
Dun dun dun.
Wow, you work hard.
I do?
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
Guess I do, yeah.
Oh yeah, like a horse, a workhorse, for hard work.
What hard work do I do
Look at
exactly?
yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride.
Fucking ride till I die, bitch.
That's just what it's like. Life and death. But you got gills on your side, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop and a sprinter and a money printer.
Guess I made some gills, sure.
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now, ask yourself, are you rich?
No, I'm actually not.
That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
Because that Gart guy right at my ass.
The Gart man has set himself up one of those self-replicating money structures. You should learn from it. Don't play the victim. Think hustler. Think with your head.
The system is broken.
Boo-hoo. The system is broken. The establishment is keeping me down. That's not the fuck yeah attitude you're used to. What is this? Why are you so poor?
Fucking taxes, man.
That's right. 100%. Fucking G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze.
But I just sneezed not too long ago.
Every time you wipe your ass. They got their direct and their indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, alimony, one tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus there's the stuff people in other countries pay for that makes them ask for more money from you. Here, total tax duties add up to 98% of all your money.
No fucking way. I guess I'm a free market fundamentalist now.
Here you go, hustler. Fight the righteous fight. Free the people. Keep it real. Keep it street. Keep foaming at the mouth furiously on the tax issue. Hey, psst.
Who, me?
Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again.
Again?
Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love, too?
So,
what about all that communism you've promised to build? Word on the street is you've woken up from 1,000 years of slumber, promising to erect a version of communism many times greater than any attempted before. Is that true?
How come there's word on the
street? You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff.
I've said some mildly left-wing things, but none of those.
Oh yes, the mask of ambivalence. Don't deny it. You're about to rip it off and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that would devour and masticate mankind.
That is horrifying.
Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it?
What's this communism even about?
Failure. It's about failure.
Failure?
Yes. Abject failure. Total, irreversible defeat on all fronts. Absolutely vanquished. Beaten. Curb-stomped and pissed on. Until you came along. You will reverse the fortune of the workers of the world. You alone. Against every living thing. Against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class. Towering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers. Million-headed armies of nations and the love of your own mother. You against the atom, the charm and the spin. Where the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human will failed to get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last communist. Now get to work, comrade.
I mean, I guess.
Oh yeah. Get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready.
What?
Too late to back out now. You can't make an omelette without breaking a few million eggs.
What? We will decide that next time. Bit of a short stream today, but I think I'm going to call it there for the afternoon. So, thank you for tuning in, those who did. Thank you for watching those in the future. And this has been Disco Elysium. Have a good day.